Hey everybody, welcome back to another video in my PrimeXBT series. It's gonna be a really good one today. We're gonna talk about market cycles and how they work. Very, I could go on for 10 minutes. Very important to understand market cycles. That's where the money is made and lost, and people buy the top of market cycles and they sell the bottom of market cycles. You want to be the guy that buys somewhere close to the bottom and sells somewhere close to the top. You don't need to be the guy or girl that sells the exact top or buys the exact bottom. Real quick before we get started, shout out to PrimeXBT leverage trading platform. Unfortunately, they kicked off US customers without VPN. But if you live outside the US, great exchange. They are 100x cross margin platform. Make sure you understand that. And I do have a tutorial in my PrimeXBT series on YouTube or my pinned tweet on Twitter of how to use the exchange. As far as I've been using it, they've been reliable and I've never had any issues with withdrawals. Side note, if you are withdrawing from PrimeXBT, they process all their withdrawals at a certain time, which for me is about 8 a.m. Okay, so just a quick note, if you try to withdraw and it's not processing right away, it's just because they do it once a day at a scheduled time. Anyway, if you want to check out the exchange, they do have an app. There's a link below. If you sign up using my link, you can get up to $7,000 deposit bonus. Or, if you go to my pinned tweet on Twitter, you will find the link there as well. So let's go ahead and get talking about market cycles and how you can better understand them. Okay, we are talking about market cycles. And one of my favorite Bitcoin bottoms was back in 2015. This is very picture perfect, so we're definitely going to use this as an example. But first off, I just want to talk about market cycles and what makes up a market cycle. And first off, it's going to be your accumulation. Then you have some sort of reaccumulation. And then you're going to have a markup, which will be followed by a distribution. And then after distribution, you have a drop, your redistribution, and the cycle starts over. I highly recommend going and reviewing Wyckoff accumulation. And I'll type that here for you guys. Wyckoff accumulation. Reaccumulation, I spell that right? And distribution, okay? And those are all, Wyckoff is one of my favorite people to learn that from. I spelled it wrong, geez. Distribution. I'm not even gonna edit this out, you guys, screw it. Distribution. You guys can see me for what I am and my flaws. Wyckoff, accumulation, reaccumulation, and distribution. Now, a lot of people just see a pattern and they think it's accumulation. It's not. Just because the pattern and the price action matches up doesn't mean it actually is. I really encourage you to go dive deep into all of the different phases, because you're going to have an ST, you're going to have your capitulation, and then you're going to have an automatic response, and then you still get some of this sideways price action. You're going to get some support tests, your ST in phase B, and most importantly, a spring. And really the key for me is I don't like to really call for a bottom until I see the spring. So I'm never trying to catch a bottom. I'm never trying to buy the exact bottom. But once I see a spring, I expect price action to go pretty much vertical initially. And if it doesn't, if it fizzles out, a lot of times it's not really a spring and price is going to break down lower. So once I spot a spring, that's when I like to start buying and hope that it continues higher, rather than guessing a bottom and price just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping, right? So basically, let's just take a look here. We're going to see a very nice accumulation here, okay? And this is a big, long, 1 year accumulation pattern. And the key here is the longer the accumulation, the bigger the results. Okay. So this is probably one of Bitcoin's longest accumulation periods ever. And you're going to see how directly tied to that accumulation it is. And look, we also had another Bitcoin accumulation here, much smaller, much shorter term. And look how long this lasted Okay, it lasted from April to June, basically. So what, like 4 months? Okay, well, not even. April, May, June. So 3 months off of this, 3 to 4 month accumulation. But here we had a 1 year accumulation. It led to over pretty much, a 2 year bull market, basically. Okay. And so what you're going to see here is, remember, I talked about accumulation, which we have here, large sideways at a low. Now we have a reaccumulation here. This is in fact a reaccumulation. Okay, so reaccumulation pattern. This is reaccumulation. As I've said 10 times, I'm going to keep saying it to engrave it into your minds. And you're going to see here, after reaccumulation, we jump the creek and bam, that's when we really take off. So reaccumulation is great. That's also a good time. If you bought a little bit down here, you can have a little more confidence to start adding to your position on that reaccumulation. So then you get your markup, and that's when things get exciting. That's when everyone's FOMOing in. All right. We have a really nice parabola here. Okay. Parabolas are very good to learn as well. You could see the nice parabola. It breaks down. So we get our distribution here. Okay. Nice heavy sideways price action at the highs. Okay. Remember, accumulation, sideways price action at the lows. Now it could still be a redistribution and you go lower. Okay. But accumulation is a lot of sideways price action at the lows. Distribution, sideways price action at the highs. Okay. So what we're seeing here is distribution, sideways price action up high, and we drop. Now we redistribute here. This is a redistribution zone, redistribution pattern. Now that we've dropped, we get our accumulation again. Okay. So again, here you're going to see that we had a nice distribution pattern up here as well. Okay. Look at this nice sideways here. This turned into a distribution. We also had another distribution here. Okay. We maybe had a little accumulation pattern here, which led to a little bounce. And then we had a distribution up here at the top. We had a redistribution here, which led to further drop. And then we had people calling for a lot of people expecting a bottom here. This turned into another redistribution pattern. Okay. We have no spring. We have no reason to be buying yet. We don't even have really that much sell-off volume either. So we don't even have our capitulation seemingly yet. According to this chart anyway. We could always use other charts. But obviously, if we're looking for an accumulation pattern, some sort of capitulation, high volume capitulation is going to be the first step to building a bottom. And if you go and actually research Wyckoff accumulation, you will learn about what makes a capitulation, where it occurs, why it occurs, and things like that. And anytime something goes up very fast or down very fast, there's a likelihood of that space being eaten up very quickly at some point. So what you see here is a very quick acceleration here. And price just basically slices right back through that, okay? What happens there is there's just no support built up. So anytime you see something go up really, really, really fast, now it's not a given that it's going to get eaten up right away. Like this space here never got filled, but you can see here this space did get filled. But once you see some of this sideways price action in these reaccumulation zones, those are what tend to hold as better supports when price does go back in the other direction. As you can see here, this was the first area. Because if we zoom in here, from here to here is just basically straight vertical. That's when everyone's FOMOing. And when everyone FOMOs late, they all panic sell. It's very easy to get people to panic sell up very high. Okay. And they panic sell all the way down because all these people that are buying up here just are immediately underwater. And now they panic sell and everyone freaks out. Okay. But what you see here is straight vertical price action and it slices right back through. But we finally fell to this sideways pattern, our first sideways pattern overall, which was a little bit of a reaccumulation area here, or just is mostly just a continuation, but a little bit of a reaccumulation, and that acts as the first support. Okay, so anytime you see those big movements, big steep movements, they're almost always going to come down, or steep movements down, they're almost always going to come back up. As you see here, very steep movement. and what happens? Eaten back up very quickly, okay? So make sure you note that a lot of times, and if you want to search up blow off the top, that's gonna be a very good pattern, or not, it's not really a pattern, but that's gonna be a very good idea of what happens at a top. And I honestly like to find a failed rally at the top, and that usually gives me a good signal of a top being in. But as most of you also know, I like to use TopGoonX a lot for my trend reversals. If you want to learn more about TopGoonX, you can just go to topgoonx.com. That is the indicator that myself and Satoshi Heavy have developed. Reaccumulation patterns are actually one of my favorite patterns to trade. And now I'm looking for Uniswap here because this is one of my better trades in the bull market. Okay, so Uniswap. We have a downtrend break here, okay, which leads to this very long reaccumulation pattern. It goes from November to December, so a 1 month long reaccumulation pattern, okay. And basically I was just buying here. I was buying slowly in this reaccumulation, and as soon as it breaks up, that gives me very good confirmation. All right, and we get a little mini retest here, reaccumulation, and then it takes off. And this is our jump the creek or markup, okay? And this is when things get moving really fast. And now you see a lot of sideways up top here, all right? A lot of sideways up top here. And what happens? That turns into a distribution, and we drop. And remember, when things go up vertically, they can come down very quickly, and that is exactly what happened. All right. So we want to be buying. I don't even try to buy down here. Okay. I didn't try to buy this breakdown. I waited for this reaccumulation to develop, and I still made a very nice chunk of money here. So that is the key, is just kind of waiting for confirmations. We're never trying to catch the bottom, because a lot of people are trying to catch the bottom a lot through here. They probably sold at the bottom, all right? Or they went too heavy up here in FOMO'd and they sold down here before it really took off. So if you can really understand these market cycles, you can have the confidence, because I remember being underwater here and being slightly nervous, but because I was in a decent sized position on this, but I was staying true to my reaccumulation thesis. It was not invalidated, and I quickly got my confirmation. And when I got this breakout, that was good confirmation for me to add, right? Because I had been accumulating down here. Now my position's in profit. I get this breakout, which I assume is a reaccumulation breakout, and I'm ready for next step, which is jump the creek. If you look up Wyckoff, and that's when things get fun. That's when you expect price to pretty much continue up very quickly. And yeah, so I was able to add some here on my confirmation, and it made for a great trade. But the key here is I actually added a little bit on the way up. A lot of people add on the way down, and that's not always the best subscription. Is that the best prescription? Adding on the way down is not always the best bet, because a lot of times you're going to see that things just keep dropping and dropping, especially in crypto, because crypto just likes to do that. It just likes to go up a lot and then go down a lot. And it's just how it happens. And that's part of the market and the market cycles. And really, if you think about it, guys, like imagine somebody buying, let me just look at SHIB real quick. Okay. And this is why people take profit. Okay. Let me see, where's SHIB. Thought to myself, Shiba. Okay. There's SHIB. All right. And look at this. How fast did this go up and how fast did it go down, right? This went up very fast, and what goes up without support comes down. Now, imagine buying SHIB down here just for the hell of it, because it's a meme, and now you're up 1,000%, okay? And there's a lot of people that are probably up even more than this, because this is just on Binance, so it was added late, okay? But imagine buying down here and being up 1,200%. Imagine you put $5,000 in here. Now that's a lot of money, right? You're up $500,000 or more, right? Imagine you work as a teacher or whatever, any job, and in different countries as well. In some countries, you make the salary is much different than other countries. So like in America, a teacher makes more than a teacher in Nigeria. Okay. So imagine somebody that's like 10 years of salary or more for them. They're going to cash out. Imagine somebody put $10,000 or $20,000 in there just because they were being reckless, or maybe that wasn't very much money to them. And now they're up like 2 or 3, 4, 5, 10, maybe somebody's up 10 million on this damn thing. They're going to sell. At some point, you're going to have people selling. And if I have $10,000 in my bank account and I have $20,000 in SHE, but it goes up to $2 million, $3 million in profit, you bet your ass I'm going to sell. And I'm not going to be quiet about it. I'm going to market dump that shit so fast, and I might take a 5% slippage on that and lose $200,000, but I don't care. I'm getting out of there. I'm taking my money and I'm running. And that's probably what happened. A lot of people made a lot of money on this and they just start dumping the hell out of that. Okay. And that's why you got to take some profit for yourself. You always got to take profit, because market cycles will always exist, because you will always have people looking to take profit. And the key is you don't want to be the last person to take profit, because the last person to take profit is the one that takes profit that sells at a loss at the bottom most times. And as you see here with ADA, look at this. So we've got this nice sideways accumulation. Let me highlight this. Okay, and we can just find examples everywhere, but we've got this nice sideways accumulation. We got a breakout and a reaccumulation. Okay, and now we have our jump the creek, or our markup, straight vertical. What do we have here, you guys? You guys are starting to see it now, all right? Just from this 10-minute video. Oh, this is a 15-minute video. Damn, that's great. The more content, the better for you guys. You guys are starting to see it's opening. I'm opening your eyes right now. You guys are seeing this before I even mentioned it, but at the beginning of the video, you may not have. Now look, we've got this sideways at the highs. This is a distribution, and we start to sell off. And look, what goes up really fast comes down really fast. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time, you guys. Make sure you check out Wyckoff accumulation. Please learn all the phases in it. That'll really be helpful, because you're going to learn how it happens, why it happens, the psychology of it, what people are doing down there, why accumulation is the way it is. All right. It's very good to learn the psychology and the rationale behind market cycles and what makes them. And you're going to want to study a spring. What makes a spring? What does a spring look like? Because you don't need to buy the bottom of the spring, but if you can just get in shortly after a spring and then maybe add during a reaccumulation and then add again during a reaccumulation breakout, then you're going to be making some very low risk, high percentage plays. I really hope you guys found this video valuable. Understanding market cycles was a big revelation in my investing and trading. So if you liked it, please smash the thumbs up. Give me a comment. Tell me if there's something I missed. Subscribe to my YouTube. And of course, stay tuned for more educational content right here from Nebraskan Gooner. Thanks for joining, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.